very sad life. Harry falling into bottomless abysses followed in King Edward VIII's footsteps. Prince Harry is in danger of following in the lifestyle footsteps of his great-great-uncle King Edward VIII, warns royal author Tom Quinn. Mr. Quinn told the Today for Daily podcast on Monday that the Duke could be heading for a very sad life. He said, "I think the real danger of Harry's behaviour is that Harry will end up like that, Edward VIII. Harry, doesn't really have a role in the royal family because he's the spare as it were, rather than the heir." The royal author went on to explain their opinion. "It's very much like his great-great-uncle Edward VIII after he abdicated with Mrs Simpson. He thought he would have a role, but suddenly he found he had nothing to do and the rest of his life was just, spent moving around the world with actually very little to do. He couldn't get a job and the British government wouldn't give him a job and he was no longer king. So it was a very sad life." His reign lasted for just under a year, making it one of the shortest reigns in British history at just 326 days. His abdication of the throne was a result of his love for and wish to marry Wallis Simpson, a soon-to-be divorced American woman. Edward realized he had to choose between the crown and Mrs Simpson who, as a twice-divorced woman, would not have been an acceptable queen. His time on the throne came to an abrupt end on December 11, 1936, sparking a major constitutional crisis for the royal family. Prince Harry first met Meghan Markle in 2016 through a mutual friend. Just over a year later, they announced their engagement. The couple hit it off straight away. In their first sit-down interview with the BBC after their announcement, Meghan said, "We met for a drink and then I think very quickly into that we said, well, what are we doing tomorrow? We should meet again." Millions of people tuned in for the royal wedding at Windsor Castle in 2018. Talking about their relationship, Mr. Quinn said, "She, Meghan Markle, really was the first person who absolutely dazzled him. I think, he's just been completely swept up in that. And he will do, in the nicest way, whatever Meghan wants. She's taken him out of this fairly boring, they are quite boring for someone who's young, because, if you're Prince Harry growing up, you can't do what you like. Because you're constantly pestered by the paparazzi and you've never had a normal life where you're under this pressure." So Meghan was like a door opening and going through that into the sunlit uplands, where everything would be different. He could have fun without all the criticism, as well as, of course, being completely madly in love with Meghan. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex carried out royal engagements as a couple until they stepped down from the firm in 2020. Harry and Meghan eventually moved to Montecito, California and currently live there with their two children, Archie, 2, and Lilibet, who was born in June 2021. Tom Quinn, author of Kensington Palace, an intimate memoir from Queen Mary to Meghan Markle, believes the couple may have plans to return to the royal fold in the future. Speaking in the Today for Daily podcast, Quinn said that because Charles is more of a modernizer than the Queen, he may approve of them carving out a part-time royal role back in the UK when he is in charge. The Queen previously vetoed that suggestion, with a statement from Buckingham Palace saying in February 2021, "The Queen has written confirming that in stepping away from the work of the royal family it is not possible to continue with the responsibilities and duties that come with a life of public service." Quinn added that an anonymous insider had told him, "Meghan and Harry believe that when the elder royals die, in other words, Elizabeth, they may well be able when Charles is king, be able to come back and be the part-time royals that they really wanted to be. So that they would be 6 months, being working royals and 6 months in the States or wherever doing their own thing." The expert added that he doesn't think the Duke and Duchess of Sussex want to spend their whole time in the States, and not be part of the royal family, and that despite the apparent rift, he believes Harry wants to find a role within the firm. He believes Harry wants